Do not show up with your entire full self throttle at work. Now, does that mean you shouldn't wear those nails? Girl, look at this, okay? I am the queen of be you, all of you. Like, be as unprofessional, quote unquote, as they say your nails are. Speak the way that you speak, with the accent, with the unprofessionalisms, quote unquote. Be all of that. Be really loud, because guess what? Like, unless you're loud about your work, there's no ways you're going to win the clients. There's no ways you're going to get to where you need to get. Nobody's just going to see that your work speaks for itself. No, you speak for your work. But what I can tell you for sure is your full self is not at work, is not as an entrepreneur what is going to do you justice as a thought leader, okay? You're bringing your full self, like, they're already intimidated by you. Just by you walking into the room, they're already like, oh God, she's, number one, she's different, and they're acting like they don't clock that, but trust me, their bias is working all day. And number two, you already, as the only, as the first, as like one of very few, already everything that you're doing is being amplified. So bringing your full self to work, just, you know, like the hesitations that you have, understand that those aren't unfounded.
To speak like a boss, let's get into your most powerful story, because your story matters.
As a thought leader who's published a book, who's been on stages and shared the mic with folks like Elie Wiesel, Nobel laureate, folks like Archbishop Desmond Tutu, Nobel laureate, and spoken at places like the BBC, like Georgetown University, like NYU, and multi-billion-dollar corporations like MasterCard, like Unilever. Here's what I can tell you, okay, about showing up with your full self at work. Companies love to advise people to do this, and entrepreneurs, leaders, especially my woman of color, I need you to hear me, and hear me really well. Do not show up with your entire full self throttle at work. Now, does that mean you shouldn't wear those nails? Girl, look at this, okay? I am the queen of be you, all of you. Like, be as unprofessional, quote unquote, as they say your nails are. Speak the way that you speak, with the accent, with the unprofessionalisms, quote unquote. Be all of that. Be really loud, because guess what? Like, unless you're loud about your work, there's no ways you're going to win the clients. There's no ways you're going to get to where you need to get. Nobody's just going to see that your work speaks for itself. No, you speak for your work. But what I can tell you for sure is your full self is not at work, is not as an entrepreneur what is going to do you justice as a thought leader, okay? You're bringing your full self, like, they're already intimidated by you. Just by you walking into the room, they're already like, oh God, she's, number one, she's different, and they're acting like they don't clock that, but trust me, their bias is working all day. And number two, you already, as the only, as the first, as like one of very few, already everything that you're doing is being amplified. So bringing your full self to work, just, you know, like the hesitations that you have, understand that those aren't unfounded. Understand that that's not coming from a place of cray-cray. That's coming from real evidence. And that's coming from receipts of seeing what happens in real time, even at the executive national level. What happens when people bring their full selves to work, the repercussions that we're living through. Now, what I do want you to do, and here I'm speaking as somebody who has a published book, which the New York Times called astonishing and Guardian called an extraordinary accomplishment. I'm not even going to tell you what Oprah had to say about the book. Just hear me on this. Your full self, reserve that for the page, honey, okay? When you are writing, when you are pouring yourself into this book and creating your intellectual property, which is part of your canon of becoming a thought leader, you have to have a really solid book. When you have that, And when you create that, I am telling you, your full self is not only going to change your life completely, you're going to become somebody you won't be able to recognize from right now to where you're going to be. I do not recognize the version of who I was before my book came out, before I stepped fully into my thought leadership. You're not going to be able to recognize your life, and in the best way possible, because so many opportunities are going to open up for you, and you're going to see yourself as somebody completely different from how you think and see yourself right now. That's number one. But number two, here's the thing. Your unique, crazy, wild, messy, beautiful, exciting, scary, too much stories and self, when you allow us to see that person on the page for what actually happened, when we open your book, and no matter what your book is about, when we see that version of you through what you write, you are going to transform lives. I promise you. I promise you. I promise you. And especially when you can be as true to your own personal story and what your journey was, by being completely specific, completely truthful, completely ruthless, completely uncomfortable, sometimes even with the writing process. And I will be there every step of the way, helping you, holding your hand, because I understand where it hurts the most. That's the place where we need to get everything onto the page. That is what you do. That is how you bring your full self to work. The work is on the page. The work is not at the 9 to 5. The work is not when you're being the boss lady and your employees need to see your authority and your confidence, right? So be really clear. Are you authentic? Are you still being you? Of course, all day, always. But bringing your full self to work all the time? No, we save that. We save that goodness for the page, where it's going to have the biggest impact. And girl, when I tell you the payday that you're going to get from bringing your full self to the page, they're not going to be able to handle it, okay? Like, it's going to be too much in the too much is too good sense. As in, like, that is the too much that we want. The too much that they're complaining about, that's like, don't bring your full, roll your eyes and move on over that, okay? If you want more tips like this, I hope that you're subscribed. I hope that you're following along. But I also really want to let you know about one-on-one coaching that's available with me. I do have some slots open. I don't work with 500 different clients. I work with a handful. It's intimate, it is intentional, and it is deep pouring into you. I promise you this is going to be intensive, and it is going to make you a different person. You will come out on the other side the thought leader that you know you are capable of becoming, but you might not have the full roadmap right now. We're going to create a bespoke roadmap, and we're going to get you not only the book, not only on stages, but we're going to get you the bag. We're going to get you paid the way that you deserve to be paid, okay? The way that you do that, my details are below. Check out in the show notes, one-on-one coaching. I also hope you're showing up for Madam Speaker Says. You know, I'm having conversations with some of the women I admire the most, who already are thought leaders, and I'm going behind the curtain to ask them about their lives. How have they done these really big, ambitious things that some of us only dream about forever? How have they made that into real life, like moving abroad and building your business so that it is something that lives across multiple continents? Looking at bias and thinking, actually, this is an opportunity and I could do something here that hasn't been done before, and use spirituality to disrupt the nonsense and the shenanigans that I see all around me. If you're interested in that kind of conversation, Madam Speaker Says is wherever you love to get your podcasts. It drops fresh episodes every Sundays at 12 p.m. Eastern. I am Macho Khodi, and it is such a pleasure to be here with you and to kiki, and also to just be our authentic selves, because at least between you and me, like, we can be our full selves. You can bring all of it here, right? But just be mindful in other spaces what you bring. Thank you again so much for being here. I will see you here Tuesdays and Thursdays at 12 p.m. Eastern.
Hey, pull up. Just you and me for a second. Are you an exec, a founder, or an entrepreneur who's sick of shrinking in rooms you're overqualified to lead? It's time to stop playing small and start owning your expertise. But how, Machochodi? Girl, I got you. I offer coaching that helps women of color just like you to claim your place as a thought leader. Whether you want to command a room, craft and share your signature story, or finally get that book out of your head and onto bookshelves, I've got the strategy and spicy accountability that you need. If you're tired of seeing less qualified folks shine while you stay behind the scenes, girl, the wait list is open. Follow the link in show notes to stop waiting for permission and claim your VIP spot now. My mission? Helping women just like you to snatch the spotlight, shake the table, and take your damn seat at the top already. No begging, no detours, and nope, no apologies. Just bold ass moves.